यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया Bhagavati-ruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati naistiki. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 2, the activities of Maharaj Agnidhara, Shloka number 7. So today's it is a shloka, so we will chant that. Kvatvam chikirshasi chakim munivarya shile Mayasi kapi bhagavat paradevataya Vijje bivarshit danushi suhudatmanorthe Kimva mrigan mrigayase vipine pramattan Katvam chikirshasi chakim munivarya shile Shaile Mayasi kapi bhagavat paradevataya Vijje bivarshi suhudatmanorthe Kimva mrigan mrigayase vipine pramattan Katvam chikirshasi chakim munivarya shaile Mayasi kapi bhagavat paradevataya Vijje bivarshi danushi suhudatmanorthe Kimva mrigan mrigayase vipine pramattan Katvam chikirshasi chakim munivarya shaile Mayasi kapi bhagavat paradevataya Vijje bivarshi danushi suhudatmanothe Kimva mrigan mrigayase vipine pramattan Katvam chikirshasi chakim munivarya shaile Mayasi kapi bhagavat paradevataya Vijje bivarshi danushi suhudatmanothe Kimva mrigan mrigayase vipine pramattan Katvam chikirshasi chakim munivarya shaile Mayasi kapi bhagavat paradevataya Vijje bivarshi danushi suhudatmanothe Kimva mrigan mrigayase vipine pramattan. Okay, word meaning. Ka, whom, who, tvam, are you, chikirshasi, are you trying to do, cha, also, kim, what, munivarya, O best of munis, shaile, on this hill, maya, illusory potency, asi, are you, kapi, some, bhagavat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, paradevatayah, of the Transcendental Lord, Vijay, without strings, Bibarshi, you are carrying, Danushi, two bows, Suhrat, of a friend, Atmanaha, of yourself, Arte, for the sake, Kimva, or Mrigan, forest animals, Mrigayase, are you trying to hunt Vipine in this forest, Pramattan, who are mentally maddened. Sorry, who are materially maddened. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The prince mistakenly addressed the Apsara, O best of saintly persons, who are you? Why are you on this hill, and what do you want to do? Are you one of the illusory potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You seem to be carrying two bows without strings. What is the reason you carry these bows? Is it for some purpose of your own or for the sake of a friend? Perhaps you carry them to kill the mad animals in this forest. Purport: While undergoing severe penances in the forest, Agnitara was captivated by the movements of Purvachitti, the girl sent by Lord Brahma. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Kamaisthaisthir Hritagnyanaha, when one becomes lusty, he loses his intelligence. Therefore, Agnitara, having lost his intelligence, could not distinguish whether Purvachitti was male or female. He mistook her for a Muniputra, the son of a saintly person in the forest, and addressed her as Munivarya. Because of her personal beauty, however, he could not believe her to be a boy. He therefore began studying her features. First, he saw her two eyebrows, which were so expressive that he wondered whether he or she might be the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The words used in this connection are Bhagavat Paradevatayah. Devatah, the demigods, all belong to this material world, whereas Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always beyond this material world and is therefore known as Paradevata. The material world is certainly created by Maya, but it is created under the direction of Paradevata, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Maya is not the ultimate authority for the creation of this material world. Maya acts on behalf of Krishna. Purvachitti's eyebrows were so beautiful that Agnitara compared them to bows without strings. He therefore asked her whether they were to be used for her own purposes or for the sake of someone else. Her eyebrows were like bows meant to kill animals in the forest. This material world is like a great forest, and its inhabitants are like forest animals, such as deer and tiger, meant to be killed. The killers are the eyebrows of beautiful women. Captivated by the beauty of the fair sex, all men of the world are killed by bows without strings, but cannot see how they are killed by Maya. It is a fact, however, that they are being killed, Bhutva Bhutva Paliyate. By dint of his tapasya, Agnidhara could understand how Maya acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Pramattan is also significant. Pramatta refers to one who cannot control his senses. The entire material world is being exploited by people who are Pramatta or Vimuda. Prahlad Maharaj therefore said, Soche tato vimukha chetasa indriyartha maya sukhaya baram udvahato vimudan. They are rotting in this in the material activities for transient material pleasure and spoiling their lives, toiling all day and night simply for sense gratification, with no attachment for love of Godhead. I am simply lamenting for them and devising various plans to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Karmis who act very seriously for sense gratification are always referred to in the Shastras by such terms as Pramatta, Vimukha and Vimuda. They are killed by Maya. However, one who is Pramatta or Pramatta, a sane, sober, Apramatta, a sane, sober person, a Dhira, knows very well that a human being's primary duty is to render service to the Supreme Person. Maya is always ready to kill those who are Pramatta with her invisible bows and arrows. Agnidhara questioned Purvachiti about this. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here this topic is continuing about Agnidhara performing his austerities, and then like he is desiring to go to Pitruloka, and then understanding this, Lord Brahma is sending this Apsara, and he's now got sight of this person, and then he is completely bewildered by the this one intoxication of this beautiful Apsara. So here we see that a little bit of background is given in the purport also, like about this particular pastime. And then after seeing this beautiful girl, he lost his intelligence and could not distinguish whether Purvachiti was male or female, and he mistook her to a Muniputra. No, it is like, it is only this one later on Srila Prabhupada will explain, it is only a flattery that Maharaj Agnidhara was doing. So because he is comparing the eyebrows to bows and things like that and all, it's like clear flattery only. So, and then so he started studying the features, Dhyayato Vishayanpam. So yesterday Prabhu very nicely covered this point. So when dhyana happens about the sense object, so then it becomes very much intoxicating. So that is one very important thing. Even devotees, they may have to go outside in the material world. They have to go outside in the material world for the purpose of preaching, and they may have to go to some divine PGs, which are like the ashrams of very nice sadhus. So and then so they have to keep their composure, in all those places. So one very important thing is not contemplating and not meditating upon. So, and another important aspect, from we may not be able to follow to that extent, but at least a pastime which is very nice to meditate upon is like Hanuman going to find Mother Sita. So where he was examining so many personalities over there, like who were captured by Ravana and brought there for his enjoyment. So but then so many beautiful ladies. So but then he was so much dipped into the service, the instruction got from Lord Rama. So he was like fully focused on the service. So he was not bewildered, at that point in time. So of course he was quite advanced in devotional service, and also this particular aspect of meditating on the instruction that we have got. So that is very, very important. So even that bhajan that we sing often, Gauranga Karuna Karo. So in the last line, we see that Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dase Ranudas. So that is like very amazing, this one. So our identity is that we are servant of the spiritual master, we are servant of our superiors. So for that sake, we have got an instruction, and for executing that instruction we are there, we are going to some place. So then that is that actually protects, we get the protection of the whole Guru Parampara actually. So, but then if we try to handle things on our own strength, so then it becomes, then no, we are left to our strength. And Maya is very, very powerful. No, here often we discuss this point, Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. So material nature is very powerful. So we cannot overcome material nature. So only if we go as a servant of Krishna, servant of the spiritual master, so then the whole energy backing, Krishna's energy is there. So we can actually overcome Maya, by the grace of the Lord. But if we are there, as with our own individual power and strength, so then good luck. No, we will not be able to win. So Maya is quite powerful. So that is why we should not. We should always remind ourselves that who are we? No, we are servant of Krishna. So servant of the spiritual master. So that is very, very like a very protective kind of a kind of a feeling. So we should reiterate certain points. Like as in sadhana, we mentioned that basically a small child trying to learn how to write. So the way to write is like to scribble and write. So like imperfect writing. So in the same way, so in the sadhana also we should understand what is a goal that we need to attain. So there are certain esoteric aspects of the goal and there are certain basic aspects of the goal. So the basic aspects of the goal is that we are part and parcel of Krishna and we are meant to render service to Krishna. And the service is distributed through his personal associates and it comes down in the form of the spiritual master's instruction. So like being a servant of the Lord, so this is a very basic meditation. So always we are not perfect in this meditation. We are not at this point in time like left to ourselves. We will be like on our own strength and on our own this one. So but we have to keep meditating upon. So that's why we sing these bhajans often. So wherein we these kind of lines come like Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasir Das. So like we remind ourselves that like I am not a living entity who's wandering in this material world. I am a servant of the Supreme Lord and I'm servant of my spiritual master. So that helps a lot. And then next meditation which follows that is how do we make this word servant meaningful? How will we make the word servant meaningful? So by doing some service, so meditating on the instructions that we have got. So this is like some time back I just started this exercise of listing down all the instructions that I received from various superiors, and sometimes visiting senior devotees like Prabhupada disciples and my authorities and things like that. So and try to go through that often. And then like tell to myself saying that my existence is for this purpose. So this is my identity. These instructions are my identity. So like that actually gives a lot of strength, hope and protection and security. So okay, like this is what I'm trying to do. And when I'm trying to do, all these personalities in the Guru Parampara are going to save me. And also in the Manasiksha book, in the diagrams, we were seeing that this 6 enemies, lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, all of them, they come and they put the noose around the neck of the practitioner. And this noose is made of the karmic activities. So like, just by calling out the names of the devotees of Krishna, so these enemies will run away. Not even that devotee needs to come. Just calling out the names of devotees of Krishna. So like, all these people will run away. So, but then that noose that they have put around our neck, so that is very dangerous. That cannot be untied so easily. So either the devotee has to come and unlock, or the previous acharyas like this one teachings. So they actually cut this noose. The noose of karmic activities. We just get engaged in the karmic activities. So when we get attacked by the like kama, krodha, lobha, moha and things like that. So one meditation in the morning program is like to feel the presence of all the personalities who are there in the altar. So like all the Goswamis and then the Guru Parampara, so all of them specifically these personalities because they are more dear to the living entity and they are more closer to us than than the other personalities, Vishnu Tattvas. So like they are very very important for us, and more of many times like we just try to overlook them. So like directly, whenever we see the altar, like we have appreciation for Panchatattva, Narsinghadev, Gaur Nitai, and Radha Krishna. So but then parampara, okay fine, like they are there. So like that, kabhi thought nahi aata hai. So then I was just thinking like I should try to repair this particular thought, that I should try to focus on them. And it is quite nourishing actually, like focusing on them, trying to meditate upon their pranam mantras, and trying to feel the presence of them, and trying to say to myself that no, these are the people like who are my guardians, who are there, for anything, they will actually protect me. So that kind of meditation actually helps a lot, to feel that protection and security. So now here we see that he therefore began studying her features. So now that's the primary problem here. So he is meditating upon. So first of all, his goal is to get a beautiful girl. So that is like is satisfied now. So and he is meditating upon. So he is going in line with his goal. So for Maharaj Agnidhara, it was not a big problem. So anyway, he is in the path of his goal. But for people who are aiming at transcendental realization, and who are progressing in the path of Krishna consciousness, so this is a setback. When we study the features of the opposite sex, or when we study how materialistic people enjoy the sense gratification, so then it becomes very very, it affects actually whichever place we put our meditation upon. So it affects us. It actually brings into this one. So that is why devotees also mention, senior devotees in the classes. I've heard that even amongst devotees, if we meditate upon the good qualities that devotees have, so then we will get those good qualities. So even if it is small or big, if we meditate upon the bad qualities that devotees have, so then we will also develop those qualities. So where is our meditation? So that is what we are going to get. So it is not I want to put somebody down, so I meditate on their bad qualities, and then I describe those bad qualities and things like that. So then what will happen? Rather than that person being put down, so I will only be put down. Because I will develop those bad qualities, and then I'll lose my position in Krishna consciousness. Okay. So first he saw her two eyebrows, which were so expressive that he wondered whether he or she might be the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The words used in this connection are Bhagavat Parat Devataya. So we see that here Maharaj Agnidhara, there are certain aspects of feminine features which transcendentalists should be very careful about. So one of them is the eyebrow, and it is quite dangerous actually. It is when the scriptures actually explain these aspects, so we should not take it so cheap. And sometimes devotees have this one also, that before becoming a brahmachari or before becoming a devotee, I have seen many times the faces of the opposite sex, so I was not agitated so much. So now once in a while, little bit, that too I'm not trying, opposite, somebody is just passing by, I've just seen their face, so what is the problem? So the problem is that before coming into Krishna consciousness, we were dipped into lusty thoughts. One more lusty thought doesn't agitate so much. But then now we are trying to practice Krishna consciousness, wherein we are trying to purify our existence, purify our consciousness. So here, it is the opposite direction. It is going to agitate the process that we are trying to do. So that is why we should see that whenever possible, or almost all the time, so we should not try to look upon the faces of the opposite sex, and then look down upon and things like that. So look down upon means not literally in that sense, looking down. I don't know the proper grammar to use. So looking down and things like that. So it is better not to see the movements and the features of the opposite sex, right? So here, it is mentioned that Agnidhara was moved by some apsara. So like in yesterday's class or day before yesterday's, this one, like we heard that, so we don't need apsara and all these things. No, we are just moved by even an ordinary, non-beautiful opposite sex also. So it is so difficult actually. In fact, one of my friend in another brahmachari ashram, so he was mentioning that before when I joined, so he was posted in some town or like smaller place. So he was telling that, Prabhu, I don't have any attraction to the women at all. So then after few years, he told that, no, Prabhu, I'm starting to get some attraction, so I should be little careful. So then he analyzed. So before coming into Krishna consciousness, he had seen a lot of English movies and things like that. So he was not getting attracted to the town people. So but then after some time, he's there only. So then even that start getting attracted. So it is very dangerous actually. So we should not mistake that we are advanced. So even people who are very advanced, for them it is very, very important. So yesterday's purport, this very nice shloka is there. So which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself actually utters this verse. So niskinchanasya bhagavad bhajanon mukasya. So like one who's niskinchana and who's very much absorbed in the bhajan of the Lord. Param param jigamishor bhavasagarasya. Who is actually trying to cross over the ocean of material existence. And for such a person, sandarshanam vishayinam atayoshitan cha. So coming in contact with a vishayi, who's very much enjoying the material sense gratification, and coming in contact with a woman who's similarly attached. So it is like ha hanta hanta vishabhakshanato api asadu. So it is as good as taking poison. Why it is compared to poison here? What will happen to us when we consume poison? The body will die. We will die actually. So in the same way, the Krishna consciousness that we are carefully cultivating, which is very, very rare. It is mentioned that Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. And I thought it is, what is it? After many lifetimes, a jnani comes to the point of Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. So it is always in the scriptures it is noted that coming to the point of Krishna consciousness and seriously practicing Krishna consciousness, it is very, very rare. And this Vishabhakshana, this is this Sandarshanam Vishayinam Atayoshitam Cha. So this coming in contact with the people who are enjoying the material sense gratification is very, very bad. And and coming in contact with women, also is very bad. So it is almost compared to suicide. So it just kills the Krishna consciousness. It just kills the propensity to practice Krishna consciousness, and it drags a person away from Krishna consciousness. So that is why it is literally Krishna consciousness is killed. So that is why it is called poisonous. Vishabhakshanam. So that is why those who are nishkinchanasya, so those who are practicing the Vairagi ashram, and Bhagavat bhajanon mukasya, those who are very, very serious about practicing Krishna consciousness, and those who are trying to cross over the ocean of birth and death, they have to be very careful with these things. So that is why a solid brahmacharya is practiced in the Vedic time also. Before a person enters into Grahastha ashram, a solid brahmacharya is actually taught. They are abstained from the opposite sex, and then they are practicing solid brahmacharya, and then they are allowed to get into the Grahastha ashram. So somebody may ask, if he is anyway going to get into Grahastha ashram, wherein he is going to have the association of the opposite sex, so why waste time practicing brahmacharya? So it is like a renunciant can go back to Godhead. A person who practiced brahmacharya, who has controlled his senses, and then entering into Grahastha ashram, so wherein he will have a dharmic sense gratification or dharmic sex life, so he can go back to Godhead. So even that very nice talk between Bhakti Vikas Maharaj and Kadam Kanan Maharaj. So there also Maharaj was, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj specifically asked this question. So will, no, you have executed Krishna consciousness very intensely and then, you have practiced for many years now. So like you are going back to Godhead. So what happens to the Grahasthas? No, will they be able to go back to Godhead? So then, Maharaj was mentioning this particular point that, it is that they have to follow the dharmic, sense gratification, life of this one. So they cannot do sense gratification which is against the scriptures, dharma aviruddha kamosmi, right? So in that way, Grahastha also should practice in that way. And how is it possible? How so much of restraint can come, when the opposite sex is there, next to him? So that requires a solid practice of brahmacharya. Otherwise it is not possible, for somebody to get to that level. So even, people come after practicing, after getting into Grahastha ashrams, they come in contact with Krishna consciousness. So once they learn this principle, so if they are serious about going back to Godhead, so they also have to practice this brahmacharya, and we need to be very sensitive to introduce this particular topic. So we have to first thing that is given is that param drushta nivartate. So first is that we have to somehow or other give the taste of Krishna consciousness to them, and then when they come in association of nice sincerely practicing devotees, definitely they will be able to get the taste, and then they'll go back and they'll not be able to have the same kind of taste in the execution of Krishna consciousness, when they go back home. So then, when they inquire how to practice intensely, so that is when we should actually put this point that yes, you need to follow this restricted sense gratification. So you cannot have sense gratification unrestrictedly, and if you are not having plans to beget any children, so then there is no point in having any association only. So, and how this is possible? So again, by the practice of brahmacharya. So brahmacharya means contemplating on the Supreme Brahman, the Para Brahman, contemplating on the Supreme Absolute Truth, the Supreme Lord Krishna. So when we become very serious about our practices of Krishna consciousness, just like honoring prasadam and chanting the names of the Lord, attending the arati and studying Bhagavatam. So these aspects, when we take it very seriously, and yesterday also we were discussing about this point, it has been in back burner, I was supposed to speak on this shloka on that, what is it? Chaitanya, when you remember Lord Chaitanya, even difficult things becomes easy, and so when you forget him, so even more easiest thing will become difficult. So in that last paragraph, it is worth of studying. Last paragraph, Prabhupada actually notes that the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita is about to glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's childhood pastimes, and before doing that, he is actually taking shelter of the Lord. And he is telling that, Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, that it is not possible to describe the glories of the Lord by our mundane intelligence. So we have to take shelter of the Lord, and by the mercy of the Lord, we will be able to understand the Lord's pastimes, we will be able to describe them. And this very same thing is very, very important for all our practices. So be it chanting, this holy names are transcendental and I am material. How can I approach? I should take shelter of the Lord. And by His mercy, I may be bestowed this particular taste in the chanting. And studying of Srimad Bhagavatam, or approaching the prasadam of the Lord. Whatever we are approaching, so we should try to understand that this is transcendental, and I don't have access to this particular thing. So I need to take shelter of the Lord, and swayameva spuratyada. So when Lord reveals, that is when I'll be able to get the benefit of this particular thing. So then some thoughts that may actually affect the sadhaka is that it is mentioned that prasadam can be distributed freely to people, and even common people will get affected by the prasadam. So I am a devotee, like even if I don't go through these contemplations, like if I take prasadam, no, I'll get effect of the prasadam. So yes, I will get effect of the prasadam. Without knowledge, no, when I practice, no, I get to only a certain level. No, yesterday in the definition of lust, no, the second aspect is no, understanding. So knowledge is also very important. So without knowledge, no, I will at the max come to the level of shraddha. No, I will, some kind of shraddha will bring appear in my heart. So that's all, and it may not become solidified also. So to get solidified shraddha and to know what to speak of going no further stages, even to solidify the shraddha level itself, we need to have no certain amount of no knowledge that is required. So and this understanding, when we practice with this understanding and then contemplate on this particular understanding, so this is divine subject, and I am material. So like to access this, I need to approach this in the mood of service and then beg the Lord to reveal himself, and then Swayameva Spuratyada. So the Lord being merciful to us, he will reveal himself. So in this way, like every small activity of Krishna consciousness, like every transcendental object that we approach, so when we cultivate this particular mood, so then actually we can get better experience in the Krishna consciousness. And this is actually a very important basic aspect of our Krishna consciousness, right? And just to summarize the rest of the purport, we see that Prabhupada is mentioning this particular aspect, that Agnidhara is noting that this person is so beautiful and bewildering my mind. This could be a like effect of the Krishna's material potency, and then material nature actually works under the direction of the Lord. So Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. So this is very, very good, this one. So whenever we are tormented by the material nature, so we can always take shelter of the Lord and say that like, no, I am your surrendered soul. And the fifth stanza of Sikshashtakam, Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha. So I am fallen into this ocean of material existence. I am tormented by this one aspects of material world. Maya is actually really tormenting me. So please give me shelter. So there are two things that can happen. So one is here Maharaj Agnidhara. So he has decided his mind that I want to do sense gratification and nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. So like he is, when Maya attacks, it is very nice welcome, attack for them. So okay, like I have I have to enjoy. So but then for people like who have fixed their mind that I have to attain Krishna, so they, when the Maya attacks, they actually pray to Krishna. So though the attack of Maya is so sweet, but still they pray to Krishna that no, I don't want to be cheated. I want the more sweeter lotus feet of yours. That is something which I want, because this Maya will give me sweetness, but then very soon I'll get satiated and I need a greater sweet for my satisfaction. Again I have to work for it, and when I get that, again I'll become satiated and I have to search for another better this one. So I am tired of all this running behind better and better happiness. I want to have the permanent happiness of attaining shelter at your lotus feet. So that is something that a devotee actually takes shelter of the Lord and prays to the Lord, that I don't want to be cheated by this sweetness that Maya is offering, right? So and then here it is mentioned about how this material world is full of maddened people, who are mad after sense gratification, and they are they are like the forest animals, who are there, in the forest of material existence, and then they are killed by the arrows of beautiful women, arrows of eyebrows of beautiful women. So that is why devotees have to be very, very careful in terms of association with the opposite sex. So we see that what is a problem? Now, opposite sex is, we should not mistreat them also. We should not, one very important thing in the brahmacharya life is that if you hate Mataji, you will get married to a Mataji. If you love a Mataji, you will get married to a Mataji. So you cannot hate, you cannot love. No? So that is the state we have to be. No? So we have to give respect. No, we should have respectful distance. No, we should not hate, saying, hey, this is Maya. No, people who hate women, no, they will get married. And people who love women, obviously they'll get married. So that is what happens actually. So that is why we should not hate them and we should not love them. So we should actually, and somebody may say like, Prabhu, I'm not loving, but then just a little bit I contemplated. Like love comes from contemplation actually. So when we contemplate, this hate also, the hatred, how it arises, when अच्छा jovial बातों में like कुछ तो exchange हुआ, and then एक दूसरे को थोड़ा सा पैर खींचे हैं, and then like उसको उस टाइम तो हंसी मजाक था, like सब ठीक ठाक चल गया. So after that the devotee sits down and contemplates. वो ऐसा कैसा बताया? So then that contemplation increases, and then it becomes like enmity or like this one hatred towards that person. So hate and love actually comes by contemplation. So even most ugliest of the person, if we just contemplate, we will develop love towards that person. So that is why contemplation is very, very powerful. So we should not try to contemplate upon that these aspects. So immediately, so then okay, like we see that something we see for once, then after that it just chipak jate hain, and then again and again it comes in the mind. So how to avoid that kind of contemplation? I am not actively trying to contemplate, but then contemplation ho hi jata hai. Like how to actually avoid that? So then it says it means that we need to have a strong antidote for that. Equal and opposite antidote. So like वो इतना attractive है, तो equal and opposite antidote इधर होना चाहिए Krishna consciousness में. So which I can put myself on and it can actually absorb me. Or if it is not capable of absorbing me at this point in time, I may not have taste in any of the limbs of bhakti like so very strongly. So then at least like one thing that is mentioned is sloka memorization, which Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was like very nicely mentioning about. So memorizing slokas and reciting slokas, and also certain prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, and certain prayers where it invokes the mercy of the Lord, or it is like praying to the Lord that I have been affected now, so please save me. So that is something very, very important. So whenever we are attacked by the demon, demon is not the women, demon is the our perception of women. Demon is there here, demon is not there outside. So our perception of women. So whenever that attacks, just like we hear in the Bhagavatam, like even mixed devotees like the Devatas, whenever they get into problem, so they actually approach the Lord. And that is mentioned, that is very nicely glorified, that devotee means he always takes shelter. That's the characteristics of a devotee. Devotee means he will not try to solve things on his own strength. Devotee always try to take shelter of the Lord. So that is very, very important. So people who know the art of taking shelter, so they will always escape the attacks of the material nature. And people who feel that I am all good, I can handle and things like that. So why to actually take any suggestion or opinion and things like that? So any problem comes, like I will have to handle that problem. So sometimes devotee also thinks, I should not give trouble to the seniors by telling my problem. So but then like when they get caught into the problem, so then seniors will have more trouble solving the problem actually. So it is better. A devotee means, the characteristics of devotee, even a mixed devotee, is that they take shelter of they always take shelter. So and the heights of it is the residents of Vrindavan. So every time we keep seeing like some demon comes and then they come, hey Krishna, please save me, please. It is like, it is one of the aspects of the surrender. Raksha isiti vishvashu. So like they serve the Lord very nicely, but then when there is a danger, they always take shelter of Krishna. So, and this world is full of danger. So, so we should take shelter of Krishna for our protection. And so many onslaughts are going to happen. And whenever this attack happens, we should very nicely take shelter of Krishna. And then here about Prahlad Maharaj, it is mentioned that like how such people are there, Vimudan, Vimukan, or Pramatta, such people like maddened people are there, and the job of a devotee is to devise means and plans to save them actually. So they are simply busy doing sense gratification without any attachment to law of Godhead, and like devotee is meditating how to actually save them from these clutches of Maya. So they are killed by Maya. However, one who is Pramatta, Apramatta, a sane, sober person, a Dhira, knows very well that a human being's primary duty is to render service to the Supreme Person. Maya is always ready to kill who are Pramatta. No? So, like everybody actually feels themselves, like for a person who's completely absorbed in the material thoughts, so he feels that like doing sense gratification is my responsible job. Like he actually feels that how can I take out so much time for Krishna consciousness? Like I am doing something very responsible like that. So everybody feels whatever they're doing as a very, very responsible, and that is the heights of dharma, and that is the thing that needs to be done. So that is why we need to like give them Krishna consciousness in some way or other, by the way of giving them prasadam, and by the way of practicing ourselves very seriously, and giving others association of giving others association. In that way, a spark of Krishna consciousness can be brought about, and then we can actually save them from the material clutches. Otherwise they will always think that whatever they are doing, that itself is the ultimate thing. Until unless we create Sukruti in them, so they will not be able to think that Krishna consciousness is a valid occupation, and not just the valid occupation, it is the only occupation that needs to be done, and nothing else should be done. So it is Krishna. We are servants of Krishna, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and we are meant only to serve Krishna and nothing else. So that should be very, very clear for a practitioner. And when we practice it sincerely, so then we will be able to inspire this on others also. So with this I pause today's session. So 5 minutes time is there. Any questions or comments you can take?
Yeah, I have a question. So you mentioned the knowledge and faith. You see, there are devotees have knowledge, philosophical understanding. Faith is not there. How to understand?
Yeah, faith is basically the mercy of the Lord. We lose that particular thing, by the way of becoming vimukha, going away from the Lord. So we lose that. What is that? We lose that track of Krishna consciousness, right? And then knowledge is there. So when the knowledge is not applied, so then it becomes useless. The knowledge becomes useless. So the application of knowledge is that, so when there is a danger, when there is a scenario of coming in contact with a woman, or coming in contact with people who are engaged in sense gratification, so then this knowledge should be applied that I should not meditate and contemplate upon these things. So if the application is not there, so then it becomes difficult. And when will the application happens? So when the orientation on the goal, my goal, who am I, what am I supposed to do? In the Radhikaraman Prabhu's class, we were hearing that particular point, that I am a devotee, I am not meant to do these things, I am meant to do something else. So that has to happen, that thing has to happen. So that is all about how much we have oriented ourselves towards the goal. If this is my goal and this is what is my identity, like that. So just like a suicide bomber, he is like completely oriented. Your identity is like you are going to do a very great job, and you are going to go there and you are going to destroy all these people, and it's like very, very important. Even if a beautiful girl comes in front, like he will not bother, because he is completely thoroughly oriented towards the goal actually. So these are all some aspects which is needed. So goal orientation is very much needed. So in the sadhana, so it is not that like I'm meant to do sadhana, like I'm meant to understand the sambandha, and after that I will do the sadhana, and then I will get the prayojana, the result. So it is not like that. So like generally it is put in the reverse way. Like what is the way like it is put? Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana is the like categorical study, but then in the practice, how the practice is introduced. Sambandha Prayojana and Abhideya. No? So practice is, it is not that I'm going to attain Prayojana at that point in time, but after Sambandha is clarified, so then the goal is clarified. No? So once this one is like position is clarified, so then the goal is clarified and orientation on the goal is given, and after that the Prayojana, after that the Abhideya is there. So practice with the goal in mind. So like if a student is studying, no, and then आपका क्या गोल है, कितना मार्क लेंगे, देखेंगे लाइक जितना टीचर का मर्जी है उतना मिल जाएगा तो मतलब देखेंगे लाइक जितना पढ़ पाता हूँ, जितना टीचर का मर्जी है ना, तो देन ऑब्वियसली लाइक हो सकता है कि जस्ट पास हो सकते हैं, है ना. सो किसी का गोल है लाइक कि मैं सब में टॉप लेना है, सब में लाइक 100 मारना है, तो देन द गोल इज देयर, सो देन द स्टडी द अभिदया विल बी वेरी नाइस, and then the exam he will be able to give with that goal. So without like if the person is like I'm practicing chanting, I'm practicing reading, I'm practicing morning program, everything, and देखेंगे like जो result मिलेगा मिल जाएगा तो goal is not fixed, like materially okay, कुछ तो ये करके like goal मिल सकता है, but spiritually the thing is whatever we desire, that is what is going to happen. So in fact in many places Prabhupada writes this, what it takes for a person to go back to Godhead, in one word, desire. So desire matlab kya hai? Desire of the goal, so the goal orientation is not there, so then it is quite difficult, so the goal orientation of like who am I and what am I supposed to do, and like this is what I'm going to end up as, that is not there. So then it becomes very difficult actually, and this orientation has to keep happening, personally as a personal contemplation, this has to keep happening actually. So application of knowledge is important. So knowledge in itself is not going to help us, so it is like parrot's knowledge, so knowledge in itself is not going to help us. And then the second thing is the goal orientation. We should become really obsessed about the goal of in fact what Rupa Goswami says is like laulyam, wherever is there, like how much ever costly it is, try to get it or steal it or whatever you do, like become a very what is that greedy about attaining the goal. So that greed to attain the goal is very, very essential actually. So these are some of the aspects, and then with all these aspects, we should if we are equipped with all these aspects, it doesn't mean that we will show ourselves in some material environment and then abhi dekho like mere paas like sara astra hai, like I will sustain this material environment. We should not do that actually. We should see that we should avoid getting into material association also. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but then he says that how can I that this shloka, anybody remembers the context of the shloka? This is Prataptita Maharaj, Nishkinchanasya Bhagavad Bhagavan. Either Prataptita Maharaj or the other one is that when the Devdasis are chanting Geet Govind, at the time Mahaprabhu gets attracted by the descriptions of the Lord, and then he runs, and then the servant Govinda is like behind, and then he's not able to understand kya ho raha hai, and then if this happens, if Mahaprabhu goes in the proximity of this woman, he will definitely leave his body. He will give up this one. He will think like, what have I done? And he will give up his body. And that will be a major catastrophe. That should not happen. So he is contemplating like, kya kare, like, how to stop Mahaprabhu. He's been attracted by the descriptions of the glories of the Lord, and he's running. But then the person who is singing is a woman. If he reaches there, it will be a big problem. So then, like he calls out, it is a lady, it's a woman. Karke. And then Mahaprabhu comes to the senses and saying that, oh, no, you saved me. If I would have gone there, I would have no, given up my body. No, that's it. So it is like, I think in that context, it might have come here. In this particular shloka would have come. So in either one of the contexts, either Patapatra Maharaj or this one. So it is very, very important that a devotee should carefully avoid these things, and especially brahmacharis should carefully avoid the environments which is surcharged with material sense gratification. Because with so much of difficulty, with so many lifetimes of struggle in this material world, somehow or other we have come in contact with Krishna consciousness. It is quite rare. It is quite rare to take this call of applying ourselves to practicing intense devotional service. So many people are there, but like they try to come in contact with Krishna consciousness, but the intense desire to practice doesn't arise. So, but then if somebody has got that intense desire, so then we should by all means it has to be protected actually. And if we have got the intense desire even once, so then to repeat that is not a very difficult thing. Because only offenses may reduce this one. So, but if we have just fallen victim of sense gratification, so that doesn't have the capacity to reduce our advancement in Krishna consciousness. So if we have just got affected by sense gratification, there is no problem. We can again give a try. So within very short time, we will again get back to our original position, in Krishna consciousness. So these are all some of the things you can think about. Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavranda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.